everyone, this is Karen.
Hey everybody, I'm Shane.
Today we have a lesson on live talk and it's called
Tasting Different Snacks.
And the vocabulary words are rate.
Rate.
The judges rated each singer's performance on a scale of 1 to 10.
Label.
Label.
If you had read the label on the can, you'd know that you're eating dog food.
Really? This
Yes.
is dog food? Creative.
Creative.
Susan is a creative person, so I'm not surprised that she is an artist.
Lobster.
Lobster.
You should get the lobster roll. It's delicious.
Oh, I will love it. Okay, so we're talking about tasting different snacks, like Taiwanese snacks
Yeah, and the dialogue
in
is
particular.
talking about Taiwanese, right?
Okay, so when people think of foreigners coming to Taiwan, the first thing they would think of trying, and that they would probably find disgusting, is stinky tofu.
Yes.
So did you like it when you first tried
Right when I
it?
came here, the first thing somebody wanted to give me was stinky tofu. They just brought it. Here, try this. They think it's really funny. And of course, oh my gosh, that is so horrible. And they're like, oh, it's delicious, eat it. I said, no, thank you.
So you never tried?
Yeah, at first.
Okay.
And then after a while, okay, maybe after 2 or 3 times that people kept begging me to try it.
Okay.
Fine, I tried it. I still didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Because the smell isn't good.
But it tastes great.
So the problem with smell and taste is they're very connected.
Yeah, you're right.
But eventually, just like some stinky cheeses, if you get used to it, you develop a taste for it and love it. So just one day, I had it, and suddenly,
You liked it.
I really liked it, and since then, I've loved stinky tofu.
Seriously, so sometimes you would actually go to the night market and get some stinky tofu.
I will smell it, I'm like, ooh yeah, stinky tofu.
So you no longer find it like really, really stinky and unbearable.
I love it.
Oh, I love stinky tofu. I love Taiwanese snacks in
What's
general.
your favorite Taiwanese snack?
Tell us.
We gave our friends some Taiwanese snacks to try. Let's see how they rate them.
This is an ox tongue biscuit. Why not? Not bad. You can hardly taste the tongue.
It's so light. I like it. Is it really an ox tongue?
It's not really an ox tongue. It's made with flour and eggs. That's good. I give it an 8.
8.5 for me.
Dried shredded squid. So it's like squid jerky?
What can't they make jerky out of? It's spicy. It's chewy. It's like someone made licorice using squid.
Ew. It smells fishy. People eat this? No, that's not for me. Squid jerky gets a 4.
I'll give it a 7.
Hello and welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Mike.
I'm Kim.
And today we're doing our live talk unit, which is great because we're both alive and we can talk.
I think we got it covered.
I think we can handle this. And even better, you know what we have today for live talk? Snacks!
Ooh, what's your favorite snack?
Ooh, whatever's in front of me. I like peanuts. I like peanuts, actually. Popcorn. I'm kind of into the classic snacks these days. I had too many weird chip flavors recently. So I was kind of like, shrimp chips or roasted chicken with Thai spice. I'm not quite sure I'm into that anymore. So I like some of the classics. How about you?
Yeah, I really like some classics as well, like trail mix, which adds peanut popcorn, M&Ms, things like that. Yeah, they're good.
That sounds really good.
But today we're talking about Taiwanese snacks, and these friends here are going to introduce their other friends to some Taiwanese snacks.
That's right. The dialogue is actually titled Tasting different snacks. And that's a fun thing to do, right? When you have friends who come here, you show them your favorite snacks. Or when you go overseas, like go to Japan and visit a local convenience store. Ooh, let's try that. Ooh, that looks good. I've never tried these. So trying new snacks is fun. We have 4 characters, Barb, Adam, Christine, and Dave. And as we begin, it says Barb's arms are full of snacks. So she's come into the room, her friends are there, and she's brought a bunch of snacks with her. We like Barb.
Yes, we love Barb. Now, as Adam says, we gave our friends some Taiwanese snacks to try. And let's see how they rate them.
Oh, okay. So I guess the friends maybe are also from other countries, and they're trying a lot of these local Taiwanese snacks for the first time, which is normal. This is interesting, though. They're going to rate the snacks. To rate something is basically to give it a score. You're judging it, you're comparing it to other things, and often you'd give it a score out of 10 or certain number of stars out of 5 or something like this. You can do it in a serious way if you're judging a competition in sports or a teacher's giving a grade to students, but you can also do it in a more fun and casual way. If your friend says, hey, what did you think of that new movie? And you say, oh, it wasn't that good. I'll give it 2 out of 5. You're kind of giving your opinion by putting it in a score sort of format like that. When you rate things, you're giving your opinion or judging things using some kind of number on a scale. For example, the judges rated each singer's performance on a scale of 1 to 10. Like those singing reality shows.
Yeah, those are really popular. They're fun to watch. It's fun to rate things. It's fun to give your opinion, especially about unusual things like snacks from another country you might not have eaten before.
Right, gives you an idea of which ones you like and which ones you didn't like so much.
Yeah, so first we have the group of friends. They're going to try something called an ox tongue biscuit.
Made of the tongue of a cow?
No, the name is deceiving.
Oh, okay.
As we find out, it's not bad. You can hardly taste the ox tongue. Well, no, it's not really ox tongue. It's actually a pastry.
Okay, yeah, and Christine also said there, why not, right? If someone offers you something that might not be your favorite choice, but then you decide to be brave, you go, yeah, why not? I'm here, it's there, you only live once, I'll take a chance. So yeah, she says you can hardly taste the tongue. I think that's a joke.
Yes.
It's not actually ox tongue.
No.
It's a cookie. It's a biscuit. And Dave says it's so light. I like it. All right. So that's kind of what he's thinking as he eats it. It's very light. It doesn't have a strong, heavy, super sweet or very salty taste. A very kind of light taste. He likes it. Is it really an ox tongue? He's saying it's kind of long, it looks like a tongue.
Yes.
Right?
Hence
but it's very
the name.
thin and it's kind of yellow or brown. It doesn't really look like the big part of an animal, and that's what Barb tells them.
It's not really an ox tongue, she says. It's made with flour and eggs. So it just has the name because of what it looks like. It's not actually an ox tongue.
Okay, yeah, it would be very different and certainly taste very different. Christine is happy to learn that this is just a cookie and that's only a name. She says that's good. And then she says, or maybe she also likes it. That's good. And she says, I give it an 8. So there you go.
Out of 10?
She's rated it. She gave it an 8. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Yes, but Dave decides to give it an 8.5. Ooh, slightly higher. So if you don't quite want to give it a 9, it's not that good. It's all right. It's pretty good. You can give it an 8.5, higher than an 8, but not quite a 9.
No, you could also say 8.5 if you wanted to do it that way. Next, they move on to another snack. Christine sees something, reaches over. This bag has a design on it, or she can read the writing, dried shredded squid.
Oh.
Yeah, that's popular. They have the squid one, right? And then there's another one made of some kind of fish.
Fish, yeah. That one's very good too.
So they're quite similar, but a little different. So dried shredded squid. So it's like squid jerky?
Jerky is any kind of very tough, dried sort of snack. It can be squid, fish. There's some beef jerky.
Right. That's the more common North American one. It might be made of beef or pork, maybe chicken or even turkey.
Yes.
I've heard of turkey jerky.
There is turkey jerky as well. And as Dave says, what can't they make jerky out of? Everything, right?
Basically,
it's spicy, it's chewy. It's like someone made licorice using squid.
Licorice using squid. I'm not a big fan of black licorice, that flavor. But actually, squid jerky isn't quite the same, I don't think.
No.
I think I agree a bit more with Christine. When she smells it, she doesn't seem to like it. She goes, ew. But she says, it smells fishy. Yeah, it smells more fishy than something like licorice. I don't mind it, but Christine, she really doesn't like it. And so she says, people eat this? I guess she thinks it smells like something that her cat might like to eat, but she's surprised that people enjoy eating it. Remember, she's from a foreign country. But then she tries some, and still that's not enough to change her mind. She says, no, that's not for me. Hopefully she doesn't take it out of her mouth. She has a little bit, chews it, swallows it, but says, thank you, but no thank you. No, that's not for me. Squid jerky gets a 4, she says. A 4 out of 10. Not the greatest score.
No, that's a low rating. But
Yeah.
I will give her credit. She did try it.
Absolutely. You
Yes.
gotta be brave.
At least try it. Dave, on the other hand, he seems to really like this squid
Okay.
turkey. He gives it a 7.
Oh, all right. So he's scoring things a little higher than some of the others. Let's take a break, and then we'll be back with more snacks and more ratings.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的绘画主题是关于零食。那么两位老师在开场的时候有聊到他们喜欢吃的零食，像是花生啊、爆米花等等。那么 Kim 老师他还有提到一种叫做 Trail Mix。Trail Mix 就是指什锦干果，也就是那种综合果干、坚果啊、果仁等等的那一种零食。好，那么在第一段对话里面 ，Barb 和 Adam 准备一些台湾的零食，要给他们朋友来试吃，还有评分。那么第一种零食是 Ox Tongue Biscuit， 就是牛舌饼。Barb 就解释说，它不是真的牛舌头啦，而是用面粉和蛋来做成的。那么第二种零食，他们吃的是鱿鱼丝，叫做 Dried Shredded Squid。好，那么 Christine 就问说，这是不是很像那种烤鱿鱼干啊？她觉得这闻起来好像有鱼的味道哎。好，文中用到 jerky 这个字 ，jerky 就是指肉干。那我们可以说 pork jerky 就是猪肉干 ，beef jerky 就是牛肉干。好，那么这个段落有一个单词叫做 rate。rate 当动词可以表达给予评价、评分的意思。那这边还有2个重点。好 ，Barb 刚不是提到说牛舌饼是用面粉和蛋做成的，那它用到句型 A be made with B， 就是表达 A 由 B 制成，来说明它所含的原料成分。那么这个句型常常就是在描述食材的原料，并没有要特别强调制作过程。例如 ，The bread is made with whole wheat flour， 这种面包是由全麦面粉制成的。那补充一下相关用法哦。Make A out of B 表示用 B 来做成 A， 那么被动语态是 A be made out of B。那这样的句型通常是用来强调说 B 它被改变、被转变成 A 了。举例来说 ，Grace made a bag out of an old pair of jeans。Grace 她用一条旧的牛仔裤来做成一个包包。那第二个重点是跟感官有关的连缀动词，包含像 look 看起来 ，feel 感觉起来 ，sound 听起来 ，smell 闻起来，还有 taste 尝起来等等。那么用法就是用 look、feel、sound、smell 或是 taste 加上形容词，或者是你不加形容词，你也可以加上 like 加名词。我们来看2个例句。This song sounds beautiful， 就是说这首歌听起来很优美。It tastes kind of like yogurt， 就是说这尝起来有一点像优格诶。好，那我们接着回到课文中。
I have in my hands a bag of chips. The label's been covered up. Your job is to guess the flavor.
We're calling this segment Guess the Flavor.
Very creative title. I'm first. Easy. That's meat.
It tastes kind of like seafood. Starfish.
Are starfish even edible? I'm picking up notes of shellfish. Are they lobster chips?
Clam. Oyster.
Oyster what? It's a specific dish.
Oysters Rockefeller. Oyster omelet chips. Okay. 7 out of 10.
I'll give them a 9.
Okay, so in part 1 of the unit, that first dialogue, they were rating things, right?
Yes.
Giving scores to different snacks that
Out
they
of
hadn't
10.
tried. Out of 10 to kind of show which ones they like and don't like. In part 2, we can see that we've moved on to something slightly different, guessing the flavor.
Ooh, that's really fun.
Oh, that can be
I remember
challenging.
when I was a kid, there was a candy, and they
Okay.
were all white, and they wouldn't tell you what flavor it was.
Really?
It was mystery flavor. You had to guess, and sometimes they taste like oranges or
Okay.
grapes, or that can be really fun
That
game.
can be fun. It's often difficult, right? When you don't know what it is, it can be hard to say that's strawberry or cherry or things like that. But anyways, let's see how they're going to do it. Barb begins the dialogue. She says, "I have in my hands a bag of chips." So she's sort of presenting this like a scientist or a game show host. "I have in my hand a bag of chips. The label has been covered up. Your job is to guess the flavor."
Yes, if the label is covered, oh, that's going to be difficult. A label is something that gives you information about the thing it's attached to. In this case, the label on the potato chip bag can tell you what kind of chip it is and how many calories it has. You might also have labels on your clothes that tell you what it's made from or how to wash it. So if you had read the label on the can, you'd know that you're eating dog food. Ugh. Labels are important.
It's important to read the label. Yeah, don't just open a can and start eating it because it might not be what you think it is, or the flavor might not be what you think it is. And Adam, as they continue this idea of eating chips without reading the label, he says, "We're calling this segment Guess the Flavor." All right, we understand the basic idea.
Yes. Basically like a game show here. So
Yeah.
Christine, very creative title, she says.
I think she's joking there.
I think she is.
Guess the flavor. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Good
Now,
title.
she was not too into the squid jerky, but this time she wants to be first to try the chip. So she tries one and says, "Easy, that's meat?"
Okay, so she's chewing it, she's thinking, tasting a little bit, and she guesses meat. Yeah, she kind of said that their title, the big title for this game, Guess the Flavor, when the game is about guessing the flavor, she kind of said, that's creative. I think she was joking because it's not very creative. If you're creative, this adjective means you have a very good imagination. You like coming up with new things. If you're a writer or an artist, you need to be creative to come up with new ideas for art or paintings or stories or music. If you're a musician, if you like to write songs. You're not boring, you're not copying people, you're being creative. You're coming up with new, fresh, and original ideas. For example, Susan is a creative person, so I'm not surprised that she is an artist. Yeah, an artist, someone who writes books, stories, a musician who writes songs. They have to be creative to come up with new ideas.
Yeah, that sounds like a very creative person who might come up with a better name than Guess the Flavor.
Yeah, you'd have to do a little bit better than that. All right, so what about Dave? Well, Dave tries another of the chips, a different one from the one they had before. He says, it tastes kind of like seafood. All right, so something that swims in the ocean, and then he guesses starfish. That's a creative guess, I would say. Starfish flavored chips.
That's right.
Now, Barb has a question for him. She says, are starfish even edible?
That's something I agree with. Edible meaning something you can eat.
Yeah, I think they are, right? I think I might have had starfish.
Actually, I'm not sure. Can you eat starfish?
I think you can. You
How
just
would you
don't
cook
really
one?
want to because it doesn't taste like much.
It seems like it would be difficult to chew.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what Christine notices as she's chewing it. I think because it's a chip, it's not that hard to chew, but she's kind of noticing something slightly different than maybe starfish. I'm picking up notes of shellfish. Ah, interesting. Now, notes here, you might hear that word and think, what, like musical notes when you're reading music? Do, re, mi, fa, so. Those are different notes, right? But no, when we use that when talking about flavor, we're talking about the hidden flavors in the flavor. If you have a special kind of tea, for example, you might drink it, it tastes like tea, but then there's a little bit of strawberry or a little bit of honey or a little bit of blueberry in there. Those are the notes. It's not the full flavor. It's a kind of hidden flavor in among the other flavors. So notes of shellfish. It tastes a little bit like shellfish, and she kind of narrows it down, and then she says, are they lobster chips?
Aha! A lobster is an animal that lives in the sea, has 2 large claws, and is usually eaten by people. This is a very popular seafood dish for a lot of people. They love to steam lobster, and it gets red, and you can put it in sushi, or you can just eat it alone. For example, you should get the lobster roll. It's delicious. Oh, they are good.
Yeah, lobster and crab are both very popular, right? Crab's the round one, lobster's the long one with that kind of flappy tail. Anyway, Dave's trying them. He's not quite sure if it's lobster, if he agrees with that one, so he's thinking clam. He guesses that is another flavor. Clam doesn't have too strong a flavor, but then he switches to something that has a very strong flavor, oyster. He guesses oyster.
Yes.
It's that kind of sea creature.
Now, oysters are used in a lot of different dishes. So Adam says oyster what? It's a specific dish.
Oh my goodness, this is challenging. So Christine guesses a classic American version of oyster. Oysters Rockefeller, which is kind of oysters with herbs and butter and things like that. It's not really got much of an oyster flavor. It's more of a kind of buttery, herby flavor.
Yes, and in fact, it's not oyster Rockefeller.
That would be a weird chip flavor.
No, it's actually a classic Taiwanese dish, which is oyster omelet.
Oh, what's that called? Oajin?
Something like that, yeah.
Oyster omelet chips. Really? Do they have those?
That sounds pretty good. I would eat that.
I've never seen those before. I kind of like the dish in the night market, so yeah, I think I would try them too. And Christine would probably join us because she says, okay, 7 out of 10.
Yes,
that's
and
a
Dave,
good solid score.
Dave would definitely join us. He gives them a 9 out of 10.
Wow, he loves them.
Yeah, I think I would too. That would be pretty good.
That sounds like something I would definitely try. If Dave's giving it a 9 out of 10, it sounds pretty good. All right, guys, well, there you go. So we've rated some snacks. Try out some of those snacks if you want. See if you agree with them. Or maybe you can do the same game with your friends with some local snacks, or get some of those weird American chips that they have, like bacon flavor.
Oh, yeah.
In Canada, we have ketchup flavor. Do you guys have that?
I've seen them. They're pretty good.
They're not bad.
Yeah,
it's
but
kind of
ketchup,
weird,
really?
Yeah, or pickle.
Pickle, salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar, that's a classic.
They're very good.
But it makes your mouth feel furry.
Worth it.
After a while.
It's
yeah,
worth
a lot of good chips flavors out there, so you can have a lot of fun rating them. Thanks for joining us, guys. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your snacks, and we'll see you very soon. Until then, bye-bye.
好，在第2段对话里面 ，Barb 手上拿着一包洋芋片，然后标签被遮起来了，他要让朋友们来猜猜看是什么口味。那 Adam 就把这个任务取名为“猜猜是什么口味”。这真的是相当有创意的名字哈。好，那接着 Dave 和 Christine 就开始猜这个口味啦。Christine 觉得洋芋片咬起来它有贝类的味道，他就猜是龙虾洋芋片。好，文中他用到 pick up notes of 什么什么，其中这个 pick up 在这边是表达说有注意到、察觉到。那么 note 在这边则是指感觉啊、气氛或者是调子的那种意思。好，这边还有3个单字 label 表示标签、标牌。那么食品包装上面的标签，它可能会标示它的产地啊、热量等等。这时候 Kim 老师用到 calorie 这个字，就表示卡路里，它是拼作 C-A-L-O-R-I-E calorie， 就是热量单位卡路里。下一个单词 creative， 它是形容有创意的、具有创造力的。那么 lobster 表示龙虾。好，那么接着 Dave 他就猜牡蛎口味咯。这个答案很接近，所以 Christine 她马上就想到美国餐厅一个很常见的开胃菜，叫做 Oysters Rockefeller 洛克菲勒牡蛎。好，不过呢，其实真正的答案大家都知道了吧，就是蚵仔煎洋芋片啦，很好吃，对不对？那我们最后补充一下，刚刚 Mike 老师说 Oysters Rockefeller 这种版本的牡蛎菜肴，它是带有奶油和香草的风味。这时候老师用到 herb 这个字 ，H-E-R-B。herb 它表示香草或是药草，不是香草冰淇淋那种香草，而是我们调味用，你可能会有什么迷迭香啊、百里香那一类的香草。好，还有 version 这个字 V-E-R-S-I-O-N 这个字表示版本。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
We gave our friends some Taiwanese snacks to try. Let's see how they rate them.
This is an ox tongue biscuit. Why not? Not bad. You can hardly taste the tongue.
It's so light. I like it. Is it really an ox tongue?
It's not really an ox tongue. It's made with flour and eggs. That's good. I give it an 8.
8.5 for me.
Dried shredded squid. So it's like squid jerky?
What can't they make jerky out of? It's spicy. It's chewy. It's like someone made licorice using squid.
Ew, it smells fishy. People eat this? No, that's not for me. Squid jerky gets a 4.
I'll give it a 7.
I have in my hands a bag of chips. The label's been covered up. Your job is to guess the flavor.
We're calling this segment Guess the Flavor.
Very creative title. I'm first. Easy. That's meat.
It tastes kind of like seafood. Starfish.
Are starfish even edible? I'm picking up notes of shellfish. Are they lobster chips?
Clam. Oyster.
Oyster what? It's a specific dish.
Oysters Rockefeller. Oyster omelet chips. Okay. 7 out of 10.
I'll give them a 9.
Xinzhuang Sports and Recreation Park covers about 22 hectares. It has been called the Central Park of New Taipei City. It includes facilities like a baseball field, a fitness center, a track and field area, and a gym. Its baseball stadium seats over 10,000 and hosts professional baseball games. The fitness center includes a swimming complex, multi-purpose ball courts, and the scenic indoor running track. Its roof doubles as a walking path with brilliant views of the entire park. The gym holds large sporting events, concerts, and artistic performances. Citizens can enjoy a leisurely picnic on the grass field, take in the sunshine, or go for a stroll. Thanks to its ample green areas and perfect design, Xinzhuang Sports and Recreation Park is ideal for both sports and leisure.
See you next time!